Hey everybody, Andres here from Grand Rapids, and today we are making naan on the baking steel griddle. It's going to be awesome. It's a same day recipe, really fast, and we're going to make our little naan breads. They're really cute, right? Really awesome. And this is a simple, really simple recipe. That's weird. It's a really That's really weird. It's got some. Oh, my phone's ringing. That's why. Facebook's calling me. How's that? I'm like, what's going on here? I'm getting a rattling here and getting a call. Funny. Anyway, naan. We're gonna do this. It's a same day recipe. Really simple. It's great. It's a flatbread, right? So we got a little bit of yeast. But we can mix this all and have it ready in like an hour. It's not difficult. Now you could also ferment this for a day or two to give it a little bit more flavor, but why not? This is a really soft, simple bread. Let's get right into mixing it, and then we'll get into the stages and the steps that we do for that hour. Okay, so let's do this. I got the record going. Let me change this angle here. Our flour. This is all-purpose flour. It's literally two cups. And my measurements are gonna be a little loose here. We'll send this back to you guys on a recipe, but we're gonna really add everything in and a little bit at a time. But here is my flour. I'm gonna dump in about 2 grams of yeast, and I just whisk this around. Again, I'm very loose on my measurements here. This is not going to be super precise. I got about a teaspoon of cane sugar I add in here. Because we're making a fast dough, we're going to need a little help with the flavor, right? Because we're not going to be fermenting for too long at all. And then I add a little bit of salt, right? That's about this thing here now. And now I'm going to add in my liquids. And in this case, it's going to be about 1 cup of full fat yogurt. And this is the Greek yogurt. I like that flavor it's going to bring, right? A little bit of fat. And now we're going to fold, and we're going to add in about 100 grams of water. Okay. And now I'm just going to take my whisk and just kind of mix it up, right? We'll add our oil last. Again, this is a really shaggy dough. You can see, I don't want to get my hands in there just yet. You can see it's just like a nice loose dough. Get that yogurt kind of incorporated. Again, this entire recipe is going to take us about an hour to make. And we could probably do it faster. We are going to let this dough sit a little bit. So once it gets to be somewhat hydrated, I'm going to put my hand in here and just kind of lightly press it out to form one big mass of dough. Just like our pizza dough, just pressing it in. Form one big ball. The other thing I'm doing here, give you the top down. Looks like, again, just a loose dough. I'm just pressing. And after about a minute or two of doing this, you're going to start to see it get a little bit wet. That means the water's taking to it. It's hydrating. I'm going to form one big mass of dough. And just about there now, right? If you feel like it's a little bit too dry, we can add some water. But in our case today, I'm going to add about 20 grams of olive oil in, right? Give it a little bit more flavor. That'll also act a little bit like a liquid, right? And that's it, everybody. I'm at my countertop here. I would cover this up and let it sit for about 30 to 45 minutes, right? And we're going to have our dough. Our next step is going to be a couple of things. Let me just wash my hands here first. And this might be a good time if you guys have any questions to maybe get to some questions before we start making the balls and stretching it out into our naan. Okay, so now I've mixed this. It's sitting in my container for the next hour. Um, in the meantime, I know I'm getting ready. Let's Oh, okay. Sorry, Linda. Yes, and I will send the full recipe over um, to you guys. That was just about 3/4 of a cup of water. It wasn't a lot. It was just 3/4 of a cup. And again, I'm a little bit loose, so let's go through the recipe one more time. So it was 2 cups of flour. Okay. Again, you saw me scoop it. I didn't measure. I just 2 cups. I kind of dumped them in a bowl. It's 3/4 of a cup of, I'm sorry, 1/3 of a cup of water. So really, again, it's about probably about 100 grams, a third of a cup. So you can see I didn't use a lot. It's 1/2 a cup of yogurt. I used a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and 2 grams of yeast. And this will all come to you in our recipe. And that's all it is. I mixed everything together. I added my oil last to form one large ball of dough. I cover it and let this rest for an hour. Then what we'll do is we'll divide it up. So I've got some here. I've divided my dough up. And now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of flour. I've divided them up, okay, into balls. That made about 6 of these balls. They're tiny little pieces. Meanwhile, I'm going to take this, put it in flour. I'll have 6 portions here. I have my griddle on my baking steel. I'm sorry, my baking steel on my oven. Okay. It's been preheating at a medium temperature. I want it to be about 400 degrees. That takes about 10 or 15 minutes. So I've kind of got my griddle preheating. I've got my dough divided. And now I'm going to make the naan. And how we do that, we take our portions and we literally just, I'll show you top down here. Really soft, easy dough here. This is, again, there's 6 of these in that batch we just made. And now I'm going to just coat it with flour and just lightly press it out. And these are really tiny little naans. You can make them bigger if you'd like. I just chose to make some smaller ones today. I'm going to press these out by hand. And I want to be careful. I do want to create some like crevices and bumps. So as I'm pressing, you can see I'm leaving some areas where these high points will hit that griddle and give us a nice little brown spot. Like I'll show you what I'm talking about here. You can see these, right? These higher elevations are going to hit that griddle and give us those nice spots. Okay, that's what those do. And then by pressing this out by fingers, you can see my fingerprints on it, set it aside. I'm going to let these rest for another 15 or 20 minutes to let them do a final proof. Now let's do another one here. So I did this right before the class as well. You can make them a little bit thicker or thinner, depending on how you want to do it. But I like the fingerprints on there, the thumb, the crevices, right? So now I can let these rest for 15 minutes. Let's go. Oh, I've got my baking steel mini preheating. It's about 400 degrees, which is pretty ideal. Now, if I don't have an infrared thermometer, another way I can kind of test the temperature of the griddle, I can put a little bit of water. Did you see how that bubbled up and they scattered really quick? Well, it's super hot, right? It's probably a really nice temperature. You know, it's bubble, it's jumping around quick. If I were to put some butter on this, the milk solids from the butter will tend to burn because it's probably about 400 degrees. So if I'm making eggs or something more soft with the heat, I will always test it with butter. And if it gets too brown, then I want to back off that heat. But we're doing naan. Nothing's going on the griddle here. We've got these naan pieces. We're going to throw these right on the griddle. So I'm going to take this at my last hurrah here. Put them right down, griddle side, boom. Let's take another one. Again, these have been, I pressed these out about 15 minutes ago, right before class. I'm putting them right on my hot griddle. I'm gonna put a timer on for about 2 minutes. I like to cook these for about 2 minutes on each side, which I think is more than adequate. And they'll get the nice, you'll see them start to get a little bit, they'll do a little bit of a rise now because of that extra heat that we have on there. Beautiful. And after 2 minutes, we'll flip them over, cook them for 2 more minutes, and then we'll have our naan. We go back over here, there's better light. Let's get to some questions while we can. Do you, I don't have a scale that can measure 2 grams. Do you know the approximate teaspoon? So it's about a quarter. It's about a half a teaspoon is, I don't know if I have one here. Let's measure. Well, I got you here. Let's take some yeast. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'll take my micro scale here. Someone's asking me how much yeast. They don't have a micro scale. So I'm going to show you how little. Uh-oh, my scale's dying on me. I think my battery's dying. Okay, here we go. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties today. So 2 grams is about here, guys. Can you see? Not a lot. So it's probably about a half a teaspoon-ish. Give you that ballpark. It's about what we're looking at. I'm using Fleshman's active dry yeast here. Real nice. Okay, let's go back over to my stovetop. You guys can see the naan here. I like to use tongs. So it's been about 2 minutes. You can see. Look at that, right? Isn't that pretty? Flip it over. Other side, boom. I'll cook this for another 2 minutes. I have my timer on, 2 minutes, boom. So 2 minutes on the timer again, and be a 4-minute bake, and which is super fast. The steel, again, on my steel, I don't put any oil, any butter, just the raw heat of the iron hitting that naan is creating these nice colors that we have. Beautiful, right? This one I kind of left a little bit of dough around the center. So I kind of pushed it out a little differently just to kind of create like a little bubble, if you will. And again, you can just kind of play around with the textures, if you like, of the naan. Pretty fun. Will they have a pocket? These do not have a pocket. I can slice it though. I could take a knife easily and just kind of create like a sandwich if you'd like. But really, these are nice to me. We could brush these with some hot butter, warm butter, right? Some garlic butter or something flavorful right on there. Man, they're gonna be delicious. What would you guys stuff with it? What would you stuff them with? I love it. So Linda. Yes, the packets typically are about 9 grams of yeast. So we're using about a fourth of those packets for this recipe. What kind of cooktops can you use the griddle with? I have a gas now and I'm thinking of replacing it with induction. So Karen, great question. This is an electric stovetop here. And I use my mini and my skinny on here quite regularly and it works beautifully. Obviously gas is awesome, right? Because the gas grates, the griddle goes right on top. You can really fire those things up, get them to temperature really fast, which I love. Induction, all of our steels are magnetic. So yes, they work great on induction. Let me see. So for someone's asking, so let's take these off again. See these look like. See, we've got 2 more pieces, right? Really soft, really nice. And I like the thickness here too. Beautiful, right? Just gorgeous. Again, no fats, no oils, go right on the griddle. It's great. So Linda, if I'm not going to use any type of yogurt, I don't, do they have full fat, like non-yogurts? Vegan yogurts, potentially. You could use maybe an oil instead. of add a little oil into more oil into the dough and skip the yogurt part, I guess. That would be an alternative. What is yogurt doing in that recipe? There's full fat yogurt. So we're getting a little bit of flavor from the yogurt and the fats in the yogurt in the naan. And it's really got a nice soft texture to it too. See, right? It's nice. It's just like a really, like a less dense pita. Really soft. I love it. And I love the all-purpose flour. Sour cream, yes, but I'm not sure if that's vegan or not, to be honest. Francine, there are vegan yogurts, but they don't bake the same. So maybe olive oil, Linda. And I'll do some digging on that too. Yeah, soy milk yogurt, as long as there's fat in there. I'm not sure what the fat would be from, maybe from the soy. That's a really good, it's a really good question. But we know we're going to get some fats from the oils. So use a nice, beautiful olive oil, which is what we used here. I use this company called Garcia Cruz. This is a blended oil of extra virgin sunflower and a little bit of avocado oil. It's got some really nice flavors to it. I love it. And that's it, guys. We can make our dough in 10, 15 minutes. We let the dough rest for an hour. Then we'll divide it up, make our dough balls, let those sit for 15 minutes. And, then you press out, and you're baking this stuff very fast. It's amazing. And here's the picture of the naan again. Again, just beautiful, beautiful breads, both sides, right? Dust them with a little bit of garlic butter, some herbs. This even just warm butter melted, right? Oh man, it's incredible. Soups, great idea, Paula. Yeah, just sandwiches. So yeah, like someone said, we could just take this, right? And we could just slice it just like a sandwich, right? Be careful, but you can do it. And now we've got make our little tuna pockets, right? If you will. I didn't cut that very good, but you can see I've cut that right. Nice. Stuff it, the sandwich. Beautiful. Little protein, the yogurt in there. Kind of nice little warm bread. It's beautiful. It's super easy to do. It's why I love making the naan. Super fun, super fast. So Jackie, good question. If I use sourdough starter instead of the yeast, yes, I would just substitute in, and again, I'm going to guess on my measurements here because I didn't use a scale, but 2 cups of flour. I would just reduce that and add my sourdough, like 20% of it would be sourdough starter to kind of give this thing a little lift, if you will. Not more than that. That's probably fine. Yes, Paula, this made 6 of these sizes. And I've got, here's the raw dough here. You could do 3 larger ones if you'd like, but I kind of like these sizes, right? Nice. Smells great too. I love it. Yeah. And yeah, 6, 3, 4, however you want to divide it up. Make 1 big one, right? Make 2 big ones. Totally your choice. I have a pizza steel. Will it work the same as the griddle? Yes. Hey, Roz, great question. I would place my, you could do this, technically you could do this inside the oven too. You could just keep your steel in the oven, crank it up to 400 degrees, 450, place your naan on top, close your oven up, and then after 2 minutes, flip it over and you could do it, so you could technically do this inside the oven. Alternatively, take your steel, put it on your stove top, just get it ripping hot, 400 degrees or so, and make these, it's fun to watch, I guess, if you will. Put these, just put it down, no oil, no fats needed, right on your steel, boom, it'll cook right up very fast. Yeah, Paula, great question. Can I double it? Yes, you can easily double this recipe. Again, not really tight as far as the percentages as much as a pizza dough. I was very careful. I pre-measured before class, but again, it's not super critical. If you want more water in that dough, if it feels too dry, you can even add another tablespoon of water in. Again, just just use a little bit of intuition. Um, Mix it really well first. If it still feels dry after that, add a splash or two of water in there. In our case, we added the oil, so it actually felt pretty good afterwards. It's great. So yeah, double the recipe, no problem. Just keep a close eye on the texture of it when you're mixing. Does anybody else have any questions? Has anybody made naan before? Let me know in the comments there. It's really simple, guys. It's really simple, really fun. Right? Nope, nope. Everyone's shy today, huh? Got all these people in here. No one's made naan. No one's even tried it, huh? Oh, and how'd it come out, Carol? And Roger did? Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. How was it? Can you do pita? Francine, great question. Yeah, pita is a different recipe. I haven't made pita with yogurt before. I typically make pita the same way as I make our pizza dough. Yeah, the steel really helps. Like tandoori, right? You think of these hot ovens they use, these big barrels, and they stick the flatbreads on the sides of the barrels and it cooks beautifully. Essentially, that's what we're doing with our baking steel. So yeah, you could leave it in the oven. You can put it on top of the oven and just kind of, again, just raw iron and the dough, and it's going to really create these nice textures and colors. Each one of these obviously being the contact point with the steel, right? Like I said, this one, we did the one big contact point, right? A big bubble. So really, as you're pressing this out, think of that. That's going to be coming in contact with the steel. We like to have some texture in there. Yeah, yogurt's great. I use your pizza recipe and I put it on your steel without toppings, blew it up beautifully with a pocket. Yeah, Jackie. So yeah, pizza. I use pizza dough often just to make pita bread. Make small 100-gram balls and just, roll them out about this big, maybe a little bit thinner than this. And then they'll just really blow up on that hot steel. It's really fun. And then you can cut and bake like pita crisps. Yeah, it's great, great call. Yeah, there's so many variables, right? Extensions of the recipe itself. It's great. I love it. Anybody else make any dough this week? You guys get some pizza going on? What's up? It's a little warm outside. It doesn't stop me either. Excuse me. Yeah. Any other questions, you guys? Yes, with Poolish. Stan, yeah, you could do this with Poolish too. Is that what you're asking? Because really, you could make this the day before. You could literally make a 24-hour. You can make a 24-hour dough if you wanted to make the dough today and have the naan tomorrow. Add a little bit more flavor in there. Oh, you made the dough with the Poolish. And what'd you think? Did you like it? Alan, I'll give you the pizza dough recipe if you'd like. Yeah, that's cool, man. I love it. Badass. So 500 grams of bread flour, 350 grams of water, 1 gram of yeast, and 16 grams of sea salt. That's the recipe. When substituting the yogurt, note that yogurt plays different roles, tenderizes the dough. It does soften it, aids in the leavening, enhances browning in traditional. Yeah, and that's very traditional too, Stephanie. It's really tradition to use a little bit of yeast, a little bit of yogurt. Correct. It's great. Yeah, please. Yeah, send that over, Stan. That's great. So really recommend this, guys. Super fun, super fast, super easy. You will impress. You can sell them at your local markets too. They're great. Ooh, lemon focaccia sounds incredible, Diane. I love that idea. Sourdough, lemon, blueberry. Oh man, that sounds great. How to send it to you. Hey, send me an email, Stan. Andres, I'll put it right here. Anybody else wants to email me, here's my email address. Andres@bakingsteel.com. Love to see what you guys are doing, what you're creating. If you're not on social media, send me the pictures. I'll blast them out on social if I can. I love sharing your creations, and we are starting a new thing. called Steel Spotlight, where we're grabbing some customers and we're kind of highlighting things that they love to make on their steels. So we're going to be doing another round of those probably in another month in the fall. We're just starting to post some up now. They're really interesting. When you use pizza dough for pita, do you let it rest 24 to 48 hours? I almost always like to let my dough sit at least 24 hours. So if I know I'm making pita bread, I mean, you can make pita same day like we did this naan, but if I really want to make a nice flavorful pita, I'm typically going to go at least 24 hours. I think it's just better that way. Oh, yes. So, Alan, 500 grams of organic bread flour, 350 grams of water, 1 gram of active dry yeast, and 16 grams of sea salt. Those are the main ingredients. Does anybody else have any questions? And you see my email there, Andres@BakingSteel. Please don't be shy. I'll try to get back to everybody. I do my best. It might take me a day or two, but just be patient. And if I don't get back to you, email me again. That means I just missed it somehow, but it does happen. I love the emails. I love the pictures. You guys are amazing. Thank you. And until I think next month, we will have a nice rest of July. And we will see you guys very soon. Thank you.